At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Morning, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. It is a Friday. How exciting is that? And you know, the thing is, I was doing a post here earlier this morning and saying, hey, you know, if you're sick of this heat, the good news is Mother Nature has a nice little treat in store for us with temperatures dropping well below normal for this time of year. We got some rain in the forecast, but we still got to get through the next couple of days of this heat before we really start to see those temperatures drop, and we do see some rain in the forecast. So if you have outdoor plans over the weekend or early next week, be sure to stick around and watch the forecast. And the detailed forecast will really kind of go into the timing and when we expect most of that activity to move on. And we've got Lisa saying happy Friday the 13th. Stay safe out there. You know, it's one of those things, if you're superstitious, maybe you look at today and you're just worried about something bad happening. Well, I say don't even worry about it. In fact, try to make this one of the best days that you've seen so far this year. And put, you know, that Friday the 13th thing aside. I mean, you can at least try that, right? I don't know. All right, let's get you to your forecast here for today. And those of you that are just kind of checking in, want to know what's going on with the weather here real quickly for the day and slightly going into the weekend, we'll talk about that. All right, let's take a look at our temperatures out there right now. Now, it's actually still a little bit warmer in Redding. Why? Because the winds are blowing out at the Redding Airport this morning, and that's keeping that temperature up in the low 70s. But for the most part, if you are sheltered by the winds, you're not 71 degrees right now. You're probably looking at temperatures more like what you're seeing there in the valley, like low to mid 60s. 64 degrees for Red Bluff, 63 in Chico, 59 in Oroville. And look at those temperatures. Bernie, 34, 35 degrees right now in Alturas, but a bit warmer in Mount Shasta City at about 46. And you can see upper 40s to low 50s along the coast right now. There you can see the visibility. Well, again, much like yesterday, we are seeing some low visibility in central and southern Humboldt County along the coast. You can see right now in Elk Country, north of Trinidad, we do have some fog out there. All right, but as you head north, take a look at this. There is some lingering, if you look off in the distance, you can kind of see a little bit of that, little bit of fog that we did see, but that's kind of moving on out as well. So we've got just beautiful clear skies. You can also see that fog bank off in the distance there in Crescent City. So again, we can see how things are clearing out to the north in Del Norte County, but as you head to the south into parts of Humboldt County, we have some fog out there. So just be aware of that. But the good news is I do anticipate a lot of that fog to move on out. So again, we'll take a look at the visibilities, and again, it's much better as you start heading into the valley, and not to mention the higher elevations. So heading out the door on this Friday the 13th, there you can see their temperatures in the mid 60s on average for the valley. Now for the mountains, we're going to be in the 40s, and in Trinity County maybe a little bit warmer in the low 50s. And then of course for the coast, fog depending on where you are, right? We're not seeing fog in Del Norte County, or at least for Crescent City. But you head to the south of that in Trinidad and Eureka, you're seeing the fog there. Let's see if we're getting any reports from anybody out on the coast right now. And I don't have any reports, but you get the idea. Of course, we got the sunny skies here for the rest of you throughout the morning and afternoon hours. All right, let's take a look at Futurecast for today. And, you know, there may be some of that fog persisting through the morning hours, but by noon, most of that fog should be gone, even in Humboldt County. And then it looks like mainly clear skies for the afternoon. There you can see the fog bank off to the west. That'll eventually be moving in over the weekend, and in particular for Sunday into Monday. But for today, we'll call it partly cloudy, but mostly sunny skies for places like Crescent City and Klamath. Temperatures in the valley, they're warming up. It was a little bit warmer out there yesterday. It got in the upper 80s to about 90 in the valley yesterday. Today it'll be more like 94 for Redding, 92 degrees for Chico, Oroville about 91, 80 in Portola, And you can see out in Alturas a temperature today of about 79 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook, and we're going to talk in a lot more detail about the timing, the chances for rain, because you see that here for Redding, Red Bluff, and Chico, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday of next week. A couple of things to note too, look at the temperatures. Low to mid 90s today, tomorrow, but we're down to 80, upper 70s, low 80s by Sunday, and in the 70s through at least the middle of next week. So looking absolutely gorgeous there, temperature-wise. There's that fall-like weather I was talking about. And again, we're going to talk more detail about our chances for rain for the coast, inland, and Weaverville as we go into the end of the weekend and into next week. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and the Eastern Mountains. Of course, that chance for showers. Tuesday, I don't have any rain in there for anybody. That's because I think we're going to be between storm systems. We've got two that are coming through. The first one will be coming in Sunday night into Monday. The second one will be moving through on Wednesday. But that's kind of a look at what we've got going on with the chances for showers in there. Real quickly, wanted to show you the latest on the fires, and there really isn't much more to report. These numbers have not changed pretty much all week long, or at least the last several days. 99% containment still for the Park Fire. And we take you out to the Bear Fire at 83% containment. Now, some of you may be concerned about, let's get you to the fire down here. Where is it? There it is, the Quincy Fire. Nothing to really too much worry about. Earlier this morning, I think it was at like 38% containment. Now it's at about 50% containment in 90 acres. But I believe they are saying that forward progress has been, forward progression has stopped. So basically, the progress of the fire has been stopped, but they're still going to be working on that containment, still at about 50% containment. But any evacuation orders, or evacuation warnings have basically been lifted. So yeah, it doesn't look like we have any right now. Yeah, looks like it's all good. Any cameras? Anything we can see on the cameras? Let's see here. Anything there? No, you can't really see anything there either. All right, so yeah, that's, again, just kind of looking at it. Of course, as you see the Bear Fire, looking like, again, that hasn't changed much either. Now, again, it's a little gusty for some of you in the valley this morning. That was to be expected. But as we go through the afternoon and really through the morning, most of those winds should die down as early as the noon hour today. And then going through the afternoon, much calmer winds. Now, the humidity levels, unfortunately, they're going to be low. But the good news is the winds we're seeing now, they should dissipate. So we shouldn't have to worry too much about that fire danger. Now, again, if a fire starts, it can still spread fairly rapidly, even with the dry fuels. But when we don't have the element of those winds in there, that really is a big help. All right, take a look at Lake Oroville, and there you can see just a beautiful shot over there. Take you out to Lake Oroville, North Forebay, another beautiful shot there as well. We don't have much in the way of winds, so of course that makes for that crystal clear lake. Take you out to Main Street Chico on Highway 32, and you can see traffic is flowing along smoothly there. Looks like they just hit that red light. We take you out to Highway 99 at Neal Road, and as usual, we are seeing plenty of traffic out there, but it is still flowing smoothly. All right, let's take you out to Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. And it looks like, we are looking at some traffic out there, but isn't too bad. All right, today is Friday, so we've got our pet of the week, and we met a beautiful dog named Bear. Check it out. Hello everyone, Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. This is Pet of the Week. We've got Reed from Haven Humane Society, and this is Bear.
Bear.
Now, Bear, I'm having a hard time trying to figure out, number one, breed, but kind of age too.
Yeah, we guessed he might be some sort of Shepherd Rottweiler mix.
Okay.
He kind of has those Rottweiler
Yeah,
eyebrows.
I saw that, yeah.
Kind of the longer fur like a Shepherd, but definitely a mix, so he's a little surprise. He's an adult dog. We think he's maybe 3 or 4 years old, but it is kind of a guess.
That's got to be hard when you have a dog come in. You got to figure out what they're all about, but seems like really well tempered, right?
Yes, he's very mellow, great on leash, doesn't pull.
Yeah.
He seems like he's lived in a home before. I think he would be a pretty easy one to integrate into a new home just because he is so well-mannered and mellow, and he gets it.
So really he would be great for really any household, whether you have other, I'm assuming he probably gets along with other dogs too,
He's done great with other dogs here, very playful, but very respectful. So if he's too much and they correct him, he listens and he'll back off and mind his business.
Oh, very nice. That's always really a good trait. And I would assume it's probably hard for you to like guess with cats and stuff like that.
Yeah, we can never say for sure. He seems like he would be an easy one to integrate, but you would want to be very careful and go slow.
That's where your little greeting room comes into play, right?
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, Bear, you are awesome. I don't care what kind of breed you are. You're so cool. Leaning into me like that.
Yes, he's a big leaner.
Yes, you seem like a really awesome dog. So if you're interested in Bear or any of the animals they have here at Haven Humane Society, give the number at the bottom of your screen a call and they will take care of you. Thank you, Reed. Thank you, Bear. And we'll see you next week for Pet of the Week. So one of the cool traits I loved about Bear, of course, as you saw, was leaning into my legs. I love those leaning dogs. It's kind of that show of affection. Of course, I don't know exactly what it means. I'm not a dog expert, but certainly is just kind of those things where it feels pretty good. But it was interesting, too. So whenever Reed would give Bear a treat, he just kind of left it in the front of his mouth, and he didn't eat it. It's almost as if he was kind of saving it for later, so I thought that was kind of funny. But really, overall, is a dog that she thinks was in a household, but they didn't really teach him any tricks at all, even just to sit. Again, he's well-mannered and doesn't have a rambunctious personality, so that wouldn't be a concern, but you're able to kind of start from scratch and really get some of those basic commands taught to the dog, such as sitting and rolling over, or whatever it is you like to do with the dog, but sitting is always a good one, sit and stay. Those are the two big ones I have for my dog. We've got Elaine saying good morning and enjoyed the cool weather this weekend. It's not going to be so cool out there today. And a great cup of coffee. And here is my cup of coffee. There it is. We have got Curtis Brown this morning. And he, of course, a lot of times, it sounds like, you do a lot of work outside. And Curtis is saying good morning, everyone. With these cooler temperatures, I can get caught up on outside work. Winemaking is also happening. That is pretty neat. That is pretty neat. You got some wine in the works. Enjoy your weekend. Of course, enjoy your weekend, Curtis. Thank you so much. And, of course, everybody else. And we have got Rowdy Kelly out in Fortuna saying thick marine layer in Fortuna. Of course, that just confirms my thoughts. I don't have a camera any farther south to take a look at of Trinidad. So when we hear about that fog in Eureka, it's always kind of nice to get that confirmation here. So I appreciate you, Rowdy, giving us that information there. But yes, I am not surprised that Fortuna is, of course, seeing that thick fog out there this morning. Well, tell you what, we have got a weekend that is ready to start making its way here. We still got today to get through. Hot, dry, a little windy this morning in parts of the valley. But we've got some cooler air in store for us. More of a fall-like pattern, if you will. That's moving in by the second half of the weekend and early next week. So let's get right into it and let's talk about it. But before we do that, we got to mention our sponsor. Always got to do that. Love Wind River Resort and Casino, right? They're the big sponsors here. So at Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. Want to thank Wind River for their support. All right, look at the temperatures out there. Now, this is kind of interesting. The winds are blowing out at the Reading Airport, so that's why we're up to 71 degrees. But if you're in a wind-sheltered area in Reading, you are not at 71. You're probably closer to those low 60s that you're seeing elsewhere. Look at Oroville, 59 degrees, 63 degrees in Chico. And look at Bernie, 34, 35 degrees right now in Alturas. So it is downright cold. As you said, hard to get up to the north and east. Susanville, 41, as well as Weaverville, Hayfork, 42. We got those upper 40s, low 50s along the coast. So here's your headlines. Slight warming trend going into the weekend. We're noticing today is kind of the peak. Temperatures dropping slightly tomorrow, but still in the 90s for many of us in the valley. Temperatures are going on a roller coaster ride. They're going up, they're going back down as we go into next week, but then back up towards the end of next week. But the temperature drop we saw a few days ago, remember how much cooler it was? It's going to be an even bigger drop for especially Monday. Monday's the peak of the cooling trend. down to the low to mid 70s in the valley. And then cool and unsettled through a good portion of next week, starting Sunday through at least Wednesday. All right, so the winds this morning, yeah, it's a little gusty in some spots. See the green areas? That's where you're over 20 miles per hour. Otherwise, again, if you're sheltered by the winds, it's not as bad. But you can see here, as we go through the afternoon, the winds overall, minus some gusty winds along the coast, shouldn't be that bad. And Saturday morning, looking like pretty calm winds. Winds picking up on Saturday, but the storm system's not here just yet. But we're beginning to feel the impact slightly of that approaching storm system. Because as we go into Sunday morning, not as windy, but still a little breezy in some spots here. And then watch this. It just really flares up at this point. By Sunday at 5 p.m., now we're seeing gusts 25, 35 miles per hour in the valley. And then, of course, we're also looking at gusty winds to the east. We've got gusty winds along the coast. Really, most of us are seeing at least breezy conditions, if not, of course, into those windy conditions as well. So that's what we have in store for us as the storm system comes in on Sunday. The winds are going to progressively get a little bit stronger. Now, typically, with these winds, we'd be concerned about the fire weather risk, but not terribly concerned about that because, yes, it's hot, it's dry, but the wind's not that bad today, right? So they'll eventually die down this afternoon. But look at Saturday. The humidity levels are beginning to pick up. But remember, the winds aren't that bad on Saturday. They're a little breezy, but not terrible. And then really windy on Sunday, but the humidity levels are much higher. So we don't have to be as concerned about that when we're talking about that fire weather risk. But bottom line, we still can't let our guard down because with gusty winds and a fire, even with the higher humidity, the fires can still be a bit of a concern, especially if we're not really seeing much rain. And we won't see a lot of rain for many of us here on Sunday, which we'll get into that here in a second. But this is the storm system that brought us that nice big drop in the temperatures a few days ago. That's now moving off to the north and east. Now I've got my eyes on these areas of low pressure right here. This one will be here by Sunday. This one will be coming in by sometime around the middle of next week. But overall, this cooler and unsettled weather pattern that you see right here, this will be impacting our weather. So we've got change on the way as we go into the second half of the weekend and into early next week. Now, another thing is the potential for thunderstorms with these storms. So the severe outlook, based from the Storm Prediction Center, has the areas in green where we have the best potential for thunderstorms. I think it's overdoing it a bit here as far as how south it will be. I think most of the thunderstorms will be Siskiyou and Modoc County, extreme northern Shasta County. But as you start heading into Red Bluff, Redding, we may hold off until Sunday evening, Sunday night. And I'm going to show you here on Futurecast what I'm talking about. So let's start with today. And of course, beautiful, right? But hot in the valley. But I mean, look at the coast. I mean, you're clearing out. It's going to be a nice day for you today for the coast. And then Saturday, you see how in advance of the storm, we're seeing the clouds move in, but no rain just yet. But we'll notice some high clouds kind of filtering in. More of that marine layer developing along the coast later in the day on Saturday as well for the coast. Now Sunday, this is where things start getting a little bit more interesting. So still some low clouds and fog along the coast, and we've got some of the high and mid-level clouds kind of filtering in, but nothing just yet. Take you into the noon hour. Not much going on at this point. So really, for the most part, the first half of your day of Sunday is going to be dry. And for many of you, the entire day of Sunday will be dry. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's take you through the afternoon. You see how through the afternoon on Sunday, showers and thunderstorms are beginning to pop up. Del Norte, Siskiyou, Modoc County. Now, if you go to the south of that, you see how things are much drier. But we are seeing it clipping northern Lassen County, northern Shasta County. Now, we've seen this before, even because we're going out a few days, so this is most likely going to change each model run. But I think this will be the general overall footprint of where most of it will be. So if you have outdoor plans in Siskiyou County Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning you'll be fine. Maybe go for that hike Sunday morning. But Sunday afternoon, be prepared for the fact that you may get caught under a thunderstorm. And with these thunderstorms, you're talking the potential for heavy rainfall, gusty winds, maybe some hail, lightning, of course, right? So we've also got that in Modoc County. And same situation out towards Del Norte County as well. So get those outdoor events or plans or anything you're doing outdoors, outdoor activities, make sure you do those in the morning on Sunday up north, because that will be a different story for Sunday afternoon. Now, again, is it out of the question for places like Redding to maybe see a stray shower or thunderstorm late Sunday afternoon? Sure, it's not out of the question. It's worth keeping your eyes open for it. But for the most part, I'd say your weekend is looking fairly dry and the second half of the weekend looking much cooler. All right, so now let's take a look at what we're looking at with those forecast rainfall totals. Now, this is going to take you for Sunday all the way through Thursday. And I should be showing this after I show the long range as well, but I just want to show you a general idea. And one of the things I do want to remind you, this is not a widespread rainfall event. What that means is we're not going to see this big area of rain over Northern California where we just see that steady rainfall over us. That's not going to be the case. So these numbers, you can't take them to be exact. But I do anticipate that most of the rain will be here. Because that's where most of the rain is going to be favored when we look at the overall pattern here. But, I think, parts of the valley could pick upwards of a tenth, maybe 2/10 of an inch of rainfall once all is said and done. Should you see any thunderstorms move over your area, that certainly would be a very good possibility. But overall, this is going all the way through Thursday of next week. So that's not a lot of rainfall that we're looking at here. It's going to be spread out through several days. So this is the storm system. Of course, we're starting here on Friday, right? This afternoon. There's that area low pressure. Now, this low pressure will dive down to the south over the weekend. So by Sunday, it's still pretty much up toward north. And that's why we're anticipating most of the thunderstorms and showers to be north of the valley and mainly in Del Norte, Siskiyou, and Modoc counties, just kind of touching northern Shasta and northern Lassen counties. But this will also bring us much cooler weather. So from the low 90s on Saturday for the valley to around 80, give or take, on Sunday. So this cooler air is beginning to cool down on Sunday, and we'll see cooler temperatures as a result. And of course, don't forget about those winds I was showing you for Sunday. It's going to be gusty winds too. So cooler, breezy, borderline windy, right? And then of course the chance for showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. Now that'll move through Sunday night into Monday. So Sunday night into Monday, I think everyone has the best chances for rain and maybe even thunderstorms. And that's when we'll start to see maybe some of the heaviest rainfall moving through. But by Monday afternoon, that's what I was talking about. You see how the rain is favoring the eastern portions of Northern California. That's because the area of low pressure is off to the east, and we're getting that wraparound moisture that's coming in on the backside of that low. But we're still cooler, we're still breezy, borderline windy, and we're still looking at the chance for showers and thunderstorms, still that unsettled weather pattern. Now, of course, we're also looking at temperatures dropping down, most likely for the valley, low to mid 70s. So that's how much cooler it's going to be. Now, what's going to happen is this. By Monday night into Tuesday, this storm system just really moves itself to the north. This comes in pretty quickly behind it. So it kind of does one of these they kind of switch places here. So Tuesday, the transition day. So Tuesday, I think at this point, will mostly be dry. Maybe Tuesday evening, we start to see some of those showers, but through the day on Wednesday, this low pressure system will be diving down to the south. That's when we see another chance for showers. That's when we see another chance for thunderstorms. And that's when we see those temperatures drop as well. And also looking at those gusty winds for your Wednesday as well. So this is going to be that second shot of cooler air, and unsettled weather continues for your Wednesday. Then that shoots on out of here. And as it does, high pressure starts to settle back in by around Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we see the temperatures increase. So this is that roller coaster ride with those temperatures I was talking about, because we're seeing temperatures increase today and tomorrow. They drop through the middle of next week and then go back up towards the end of next week. So looking at the precipitation out, this is the Climate Prediction Center. Basically, when you get in these greens here, you have a chance of seeing above normal rainfall. And it certainly is a chance, I think, for all of Northern California, because we've got that rain coming in. And typically we don't see a lot of rain for this time of the year. So if we can see any rainfall, it's pretty easy sometimes to get above normal. So someone was asking me yesterday, what does the winter look like? Well, based on the Climate Prediction Center through at least the next 3 months, you can see most of the rain looks to be up to the north and west and drier for Central and Southern California. Am I just checking this off and saying, hey, putting this in the books and saying, there you go, next 3 months, that's what it's going to look like? This right here means there's equal chances of above and below normal rainfall. Now, if you've been watching me, if you've been watching me over the last 25 years that I've been forecasting here in Northern California, one of the things that I've always said, and it's still to this day feel the same way, not a big fan of these long-range forecasts. Just not a big fan at all. Because we can sit here and analyze, here's what's happening, here's what's going on, La Nina, El Nino. Bottom line is, it almost rarely comes out as predicted when you start looking out that far. I mean, it can happen. Sometimes, you know, you can hit the jackpot and boom, you're looking like a superstar. But I don't like using these types of maps. But for those of you that like to see these, here it is. Next 3 months, Climate Prediction Center showing most of the chances of above normal rainfall are up to the north and Pacific Northwest. We're kind of stuck between the two of the drier and wetter conditions. Now, looking at the temperature outlook for the next 10 days, not looking out 3 months, you can see normal, below normal temperatures here. And that, of course, supports those cooler temperatures we're going to see. So the roller coaster ride, there it is. Up, then back down. Then look at that. By Monday, low 70s. And then we start to kind of creep back up through next week, back up close to 90 by the time we get into that next weekend. But, I mean, just beautiful, right? All right, so this is the time of year where a lot of people ask, are we done with the triple digits? And the reason, even though things right now are looking promising for triple digits being done with for the rest of the year, it looks pretty promising, I'll be honest with you. But we can sometimes get those freak heat waves that come out of nowhere, right? You just get this ridge that comes out of the Pacific, and we see temperatures just soar to over 90 and even 100 degrees. End of September, even sometimes early October. In fact, looking at the climate data for Redding since 1893, there were 2 times in October that we saw 100 degrees or higher. It was October 14th, that late. So sometimes even as late as mid-October, we can get these heat waves that come on through. So that's a month out. So to say a month out, we're done, that would be irresponsible of me. However, that being said, if you were to ask me, are we done? I'd say, I feel pretty confident maybe we are. But we still got to watch that potential for maybe a late, and it happens a lot. How many times in late September do we talk about these just minor heat waves, right? They last for a day or two and then they're done. But it can happen. It happens a lot. In my 25 years of forecasting experience, I've seen it happen several times. All right, so here you can see the wave heights. They're kind of creeping closer to the coast for today. But then as we go into Saturday, those wave heights will begin to drop. So as a result of those higher wave heights closer to the coast, we do have that small craft advisory for today. North winds at about 15 to 20 knots, and your waves from the north at 8 feet at about 8 seconds. Okay, so here's your neighborhood forecast for Trinity County. I'm not going to go into the timing of all, we went through all of that, right? So you can take a look at your 7-day forecast and really just kind of focus on those temperatures because it is going to be nice. Today, though, not so much. Right around 90 for Highway 299. There you can see 88 for Coffee Creek and Trinity Center and about 89 degrees for Lewiston. All right, let's take you to the southern Trinity County. And there you can see about 90 degrees for Hayfork, 82 for Peanut, and High and Palm about 85 degrees. Here's a look at South Humboldt County. 82 for Honeydew, 71 for Shelter Cove. There you can see Miranda about 84 and Red Crest about 76. Now we are seeing that fog this morning for many of you in central southern Humboldt County, even getting reports in Fortuna of some fog right now. That's to be expected. But I think it should burn off, most likely even before noon today. That's the case even places like Trinidad, seeing that fog this morning. I think it'll burn off before noon. 70 degrees for Blue Lake, 90 degrees for Hoopa and Willow Creek, about 92 degrees. Up north, about 80 for Gas Key. We're already seeing those clear skies this morning, so we'll call it mostly sunny. Places like Crescent City, Klamath, even Oric. Although Oric, you'll probably see a little bit more in the way of that cloud cover because, again, it looks like we're seeing some of that fog around even Elk Country. And Oric isn't too far from that. You can see about 83 degrees for Wairika, 83 for Montague. Of course, we're looking at Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast here. Taking to Scott Valley, 83 for Greenview, 83 for Etna, and Callahan, about 81 degrees. Central Eastern Siskiyou County, we got temperatures around 80. although a little bit warmer in Dunsmuir at 86, 84 for McLeod, and mid-70s off to the north and east. Of course, we've got those higher elevations there. But 76 degrees for Newell. I think we'll struggle to get out of the 70s today in Modoc County, and I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. One of the warmer spots will be likely at about 80 degrees for that daytime high. Taking to the eastern mountains, 78 degrees for Bieber, 80 for Fall River Mills, and 83 degrees for Bernie. And of course, we got 76 degrees in Old Station. Let's take you out to Lake Elminor, Lassen Park, Chester. You're going to be looking at 82 degrees today, 78 degrees for Westwood. And it looks like out at the south entrance of Lassen Volcanic National Park, about 67 degrees. Let's take you to the south, 84 degrees for Paradise, 80 for Doyle, and there you can see out towards Susanville, about 82 degrees. In your valley neighborhood forecast, it looks like in the low 90s for places like Red Bluff southward. But overall, it is going to be warmer out there, and it will be noticeably warmer out there. 95 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake, about the same for Redding, Anderson, Cottonwood, Palisadro. 91 for Whiskeytown and Lakehead, a high today of about 90 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. It's still pretty warm today and tomorrow. So, I'm talking about these cooler temperatures, but let's not lose sight of the fact that it's still going to be quite hot today and tomorrow. But Sunday is the day that we get to really cool off. Now, you got the chance for showers in there, and maybe even some thunderstorms for Sunday evening, Sunday chance for some thunderstorms too. I've got it dry on Tuesday. Some of your weather apps may be showing rain on Tuesday. It's not out of the question, but the timing right now, it looks like we'll be between storm systems on Tuesday. So as the storm moves out Monday night, Monday evening, and the storm approaches from the north through the day on Tuesday, we'll just see increasing clouds. But still cool, only reaching the 70s. And then, of course, that next system comes in on Wednesday, when, of course, we're looking at temperatures still cool and showers. And then it dries out Thursday, and we're beginning to warm things back up as well. All right, Jay, your answer, Mike. Yes, I answered your question. That was, I think you were the one yesterday that asked about the winter outlook. So there you go. Not my projection. That's just going off of the Climate Prediction Center and what they're thinking here. We got some good stuff here. All right, folks, the weekend is almost here. I'm excited. Today, my son Aiden, has a cross-country meet today in Mount Shasta. So I'm excited to get up there today and go watch his meet today. And we'll see how he does. He's feeling pretty good. He is a sophomore, but apparently they just don't have a very large team. So they've got him running varsity. So this is his first time running varsity and running against varsity runners. So he's up against some older kids. And certainly is a bit of a challenge for him. But I still think he's really holding his own. He's doing a great job. I'm so proud of him. He's doing a great job here. So there you go. Debbie is saying, rain or not, I'm just enjoying the cooler temps. Absolutely. The rain will be a welcome sight. But I would say this is not, number one, these storm systems that tend to come from the Gulf of Alaska, especially this time of the year, they don't usually have a lot of moisture to work with. So yes, there's going to be rain. And there will be thunderstorms and heavy rainfall with those thunderstorms. But a storm like this in the middle of the winter, if it especially has a nice moisture source, it would bring us some good widespread rainfall, good amounts of rain, but it's fairly moisture starved. So we're not going to see a ton of rain. And we saw those totals, and let's take a look at that here real quickly for fun. Here we go. When we look at the rainfall totals, this is spread out between Sunday and really Wednesday night, because I just put it through Thursday to kind of show you. So you're looking at most a half of an inch for places like Bernie, maybe a little bit more than that in Aden and Alturas. But that's spread out between 4 days. So, that's not a lot of rainfall in the grand scheme of things. So just kind of give you an idea on that. Lisa's saying, wish him good luck for me. I'm sure you're talking about Aiden. Yes, I will be sure to do that. Usually if it's in the theater community, say break a leg, but you don't want to tell a runner to break a leg. so I would not say break a leg. But thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it. I didn't get a chance to see his first one because I didn't know about it. I was so bummed. I didn't get to see it, but I'm excited because I finally know about this one. I'm going to go up to Mount Shasta and check it out. It should be a lot of fun. So that is going to do it for us today. Let's hold on. I did that to myself. And let's get ready for some cooler weather, shall we? I think it's going to be wonderful. I think everyone's going to enjoy this nice little taste of fall. And you know, it's kind of funny too. We're getting an early taste of fall right before fall actually officially arrives, which will be a week from, I think it's Sunday, a week from Sunday. So that's exciting. We're kind of going into fall here, which means we're going to start seeing changing of the colors, the leaves, and fall is a beautiful time of the year. That's one of my favorite times of the year. It's fun. I love it. All right, let's take you to some cameras. Let's get some of that music going up here this morning. And we will call it a morning or a show. The end of the show of Coffee with Krueger. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thanks for watching. If you're just tuning in, no need to worry. You can go to weathernorcal.com, click on Coffee with Krueger, and you will see this recorded version of Coffee with Krueger right there on your computer. You can also check it out on the app, and you will be able to watch it there as well. And if you're watching on Facebook, just wait a few minutes and it will be uploaded and you'll be good to go. So be sure to check that out. And be sure to check in with me for the rest of the day at noon and this evening at 6 p.m. And Brian Wilson will be here for the weekend to give you the latest on these storms as they approach, especially for the second half of the weekend and early next week. Well, that's going to do it for me this morning. Thank you, Richard, saying good morning. Beautiful weather in Red Bluff. It absolutely is. Have a great day, and we'll see you on Monday morning, Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m.
Thank you.